Dr. Obadare Peter Adewale is the co-founder and the Chief Operating Officer of Digital Encode Limited, a leading consulting and integration firm that specializes in information technology infrastructures. A member of the Forbes Technology Council, which is a community for senior-level tech executives, Dr. Peter Adewale's skills and experience spans data privacy, cybersecurity, information security, vulnerability management, penetration testing, computer forensics, and business continuity. Arguably the most credentialed and multi-award-winning Pan-African cybersecurity and GRC thought leader, Dr. Obadare is a fellow British Computer Society (FBCS), fellow Institute of Management Consultants (FIMC), fellow Institute of Information Management (FIIM), fellow Enterprise Security Risk Management (FESRM), fellow Institute of Brand Management (FIBM), and a Chartered Information Technology Professional (CITP). He is also the first PECB certified data protection officer in Nigeria, the first EC Council licensed penetration tester in Africa. He's a seasoned cybersecurity expert and GRC technopreneur with over 50 international professional certifications to his credits. He was awarded honorary doctorate degree in cybersecurity from Trinity International University of Ambassadors, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. In addition, he is an honorary citizen of the city of Georgia and also holds a key to the city. Peter Obadare is also the recipient of multiple awards, having received the Faith Foundation Alumni Model Entrepreneur Award in 2017. Dr. Peter Adewale is currently a technical partner at the Central Bank of Nigeria, where he serves as technical consultant to Nigeria e-fraud firm.
My name is Obadare Peter Adewale. I'm a native of Elisha from Osun State, Nigeria. Presently, I'm actually the co-founder and the chief operating officer of a company called Digital Encode. Digital Encode is a cybersecurity, governance, risk and compliance firm in Nigeria. So I am married and we have a pretty daughter, yes, named Oluwashimilore. In fact, I have told so many people most of the time that if there is anything like, there is a golden spoon, there's a silver spoon. That's my own categorization, and there's the wood spoon. So if there is something like the clay spoon, probably maybe I'll say I belong to those people that was born with the clay spoon, because growing up wasn't that rosy, and the best way to give you a picture, there is a saying in Yoruba, which I'm going to translate, that some people are atakwata dide, which means those people that actually stood on the rock to make something for themselves in life. So in that clay spoon, some people are, clay is very slippery, so when you're trying, so I call myself Atere Dide, because if you have been in the muddy soil before, as you're trying to stand up, it's very slippery. I think that's the best way to summarize my growing up days, because you can imagine as far back as while I was in GSS2, which was at the age of 12, 13, we had to go to, in fact, there's a place called Ologuneru in Ibadan, LA. For those people that I grew up, I was born and bred in Ibadan. So we had to go every weekend. I have to go with my dad, to do some weeding, so that we can get money for that weekend. You understand? With that rough background, going to the farm, every Saturday, honestly, continuously, so it's like a laborer work, which I go with my dad and my brother. I'm the second born of a family of 5. So, so that's the summary. Yeah. So it was really rough. So born with a silver spoon, it's actually not my experience. About my professional certifications, I think currently, if my memory serves me right, all the active ones, I think I currently have over, 52 professional certifications, and those professional certifications are actually dimensioned across my area of expertise, which is cybersecurity, governance, risk, and compliance. One of the ones that I actually like so much is the licensed penetration tester. So I became the first licensed penetration tester in Nigeria in the year 2008. In fact, I had to travel to India, for the course, and then, which was my first time of traveling out of the country. So maybe that's why it's very dear to my heart. So I became the first EC Council licensed penetration tester in 2008, and also I became the second COBIT assessor. COBIT is an IT governance framework. So I became the second COBIT assessor in Africa and 13th in the world to hold that certificate. And then, of course, there's so many of them. I have CEH, which is Certified Ethical Hacker, CHFI, Computer Hacking Forensics Investigator. I have ISO 27001, ISO 27001 even Master, okay? Because for you to become an ISO 27001 Master, you must have done ISO 27001 Lead Implementer and Lead Auditor. So I'm one of the very few ISO 27001 Master by PECB. PECB is a professional certification body in Canada. So I'm one of the very few that hold that certification as well. I became also EC Council first blockchain certified blockchain professional also in Africa. So I've done a couple of certifications and I'm still doing also. So because I'm still learning, and then so maybe by the time I get to 100, I'm going to stop. The truth of the matter is, after secondary school, a lot of things changed. I actually go to Elisha to join my uncle, which, as at that time, I actually look forward. They were like my mentors. So they were doing some great things, with farming in Elisha. So I had to go and join them, so that at least you'll be able to learn life, and then, of course, make some money, so that I will be able to pursue my education. So it was from there I got to Elisha. We started farming. That time, there's what is called OSADEP. So we engage in farming just to be able to bridge the gap of poverty. We made some little money from farming, and then we're like, okay, this money that we made from farming, can we actually make more money? Which what led us to, in fact, I start to sell Maggi, because we did some strategy that Maggi came up because it's an essential commodity. So we traveled down to Ibadan, and that's how, which is another long story. I became a Maggi boy. So I started selling Maggi, came to Lagos, started to sell on the bridge of Eko Idumota. So I came to Lagos to start to sell Maggi on the bridge of Eko Idumota. Yes, you hear that correctly. Now, interestingly, I finished secondary school in 1992. The farming period was between 93 and early part of 94 before I came to Lagos to start to sell. There is a distributor in Ibadan. 96, 97, that was all I was doing. And then, of course, I couldn't get to go to school all those periods after 92. The truth is, the business collapsed. So many other things happened along the line. I lost all the money. I was left with the option to go back to school, which was why I had to do GCE again and everything. But interestingly, I did JAMB. My JAMB was, in fact, I came out, in fact, I got an admission to the University of Ife to study engineering physics. But interestingly, when my GCE result came out, I had P7 in English. So I couldn't process.
They talk to some women there, just they advise them, maybe do this, then they ask all kind of questions, we they try to give advice as we fit. Now even woman ask question, say my husband don't they vex for me, won't chase me for more, come on for house. I said, I already see the problem now. He said the problem is now only female picking I born. If I don't born a boy, he go marry son. And then I look at woman child, male child, not child. And in any case, we now know say the person where they determine that child na male or female Nah, the man they determine now. So I want to say everybody where they wash, may you celebrate all your sisters. I celebrate my daughters. I mean, may you celebrate every female child. May you write their name, tag them, woman child. Now, good child. Area doctor talk out.
In fact, I have the admission letter in my study, where I keep all those things. So, it changed the dynamics of a lot of things for me. That, so I couldn't process that admission. Despite that I had the admission, I couldn't process it, which was how I do the GCE again, and now later find myself there by 1998 to study electrical electronics. I thought maybe God doesn't like me, so when people talk about depression today, honestly speaking, I actually can understand. Along the line, I was encouraged and I had to do the GCE again, passed, got into admission to study ordinary national diploma, in electrical electronics at the Federal Polytechnic there. So I was in there, I finished the OND at the age of 25. I finished secondary school 92, please don't forget. You can imagine, so when a lot of my classmates were very excited, going home after 2 years of ordinary national diploma from the Polytechnic, I was sad. I was really sad. I was sad because I started to picture my life that, so if while you are finishing OND at the age of 25, what does the future hold for you? So I stood back in school after our exam, to do a prayer session, to be able to ask questions, to say, God, what next? Do I go for HND? Do I go for BSc? And then, of course, you hear a lot of stories about there's discrimination about HND, about BSc. So I was totally in topsy-turvy. It was totally a state of confusion. But it was from that altar of prayer that I look at electrical electronics and I'm like, okay, telecommunication, because we have different options in electrical electronics. So power was, in fact, I was doing like mind mapping. In the mind mapping, with the help of the Holy Spirit, to say, okay, do I want to really do power? I told myself, there is nothing power. Power is, you have to work with, that time, they call them NEPA, National Electric Power Authority. I was like, no. I can't see my future there. There is control and system. So, but all of a sudden, computing started to gain popularity. And that was how, I just fell in love, and I was then like, wow, okay, I think the kind of things I want to do, I think is in computing. But earlier in the year, we had done an internship. So I did my internship with a company called MPOG. So I was introduced to computer, and that was the journey into computing. And then came back to Lagos, got admission to LASU. Interestingly, yes, BSc in computer science in Lagos State University. But one day, don't forget, I sat myself down that, Wale, how old will you be by the time you'll be rounding up your BSc program from LASU? Because of the Nigerian peculiarity of strike, actions, and all of that, I'll probably be, I think, 32, 31. And that was when one day I told myself, I'm not doing this. I told the Holy Spirit that I can't do this again. Because most of the jobs I look at, that quest for asking questions, that most of the jobs I'm interested in, you will see the age limit between entry level 25 to 27, 25 to 28. So if you finish 31, how will you get those jobs? It was a tough decision, but that, I had to pray I pray with the Holy Spirit, and that was how I told Lasu, I'm not coming again. I left Lasu, yes. And the Holy Spirit helped me to make one vital, major decision of my life. That Wale, just like the Wright brothers, that nobody believed in them. The Wright brothers are those guys that invented the aeroplane. That people did not believe in them. That most of the things that has happened in the world, that people don't believe in people. But if you believe in yourself, that you can redefine education for yourself, that you don't need to follow the traditional way of what people have done, that Wale, redefine education for yourself. And that was what I did. Left LASU and I started to do that professional certification. And a lot of people actually criticize me, that what are you doing? You are missing a golden opportunity. But I redefined education for myself. The reality is, in life, your background does not actually determine where you end up. Yes, even with the OND, believe me sincerely, I have over 52 professional certifications, but then I've gone to one of the best schools in the world. I've been to Harvard, Harvard Business School, Harvard Kennedy School of Government, and also MIT Sloan School of Management. In fact, I'm actually an official alumnus of the MIT Sloan School of Management. You can imagine, so an OND turns to an official member of the Forbes Technology Council. So which clearly states that really you can actually, you're in the journey of life, your background does not determine where you end. It was a very tough decision, and I left that place that day. Most of the dream job, because of what I could do, I couldn't get them. Set a target for myself, and that was the very first time I started to look at my life. But the question is, what do I want to sell to the world?